Hello every Earthling buddy! Well, I thought I'd give you another video blog, which I'm calling my Videocasts, and this is just me talking about things happening on my channel and how I'm transforming and changing my channel, especially in the coming weeks. Well, first off, I wanted to mention how thankful I am to my audience for supporting my live streams on YouTube. And yes, I've been hosting these live high-quality streams since February of this year, which is 2016. And since I have an ultra-fast internet connection, I'm able to stream with a bitrate of over 14 megabits per second. And that's how I'm able to stream in 1440p and in 60 frames a second. And as a result of that, they're absolutely the highest possible quality streams on YouTube that you can get. So if you want a high quality stream, especially Fallout 4 or the other games that I love like Skyrim or maybe even The Witcher 3, and coming up Watch Dogs 2, then this is the right place to be. I've also hosted live launch parties of all of Fallout 4's DLC packs on the night that they're released, and so far those have been a blast, and I've gotten a huge audience each time. There's still 2 more DLC launch parties, and the next one up to bat is the Vault-Tec Workshop Launch Partayyyyy. And it'll happen in just a few weeks, even though we don't know the release date quite yet. And it'll start during the same hour that the DLC drops on Steam. So you'll be the first to see it, and I'll be the first to stream it. And I'll announce the exact date and time once we get closer to the launch date. And then lastly, the Nuka-World Launch Partayyyyy will happen sometime in August, probably towards the end of August. So also remember, by the way, that I now do my 1440p live streams at least 4 times per week in the evenings, usually around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So more often than not, if you just pop in once each night to see if I'm streaming, I'll be on and I'll be streaming. So just say hi and maybe stay if you like the content. And I'm usually streaming Fallout 4, but like I said, we'll be streaming Vault-Tec Workshop and then Nuka-World. And then once we get tired of all those, then we'll start streaming other games too. Alright, so let me update you briefly on my channel as a whole. I've been planning a major transformation on my channel, and you're going to start seeing all of the new content very soon. And growing a YouTube channel and keeping the content fresh and relevant takes a lot of work, and it is difficult. In fact, it's nearly impossible, but that's exactly what I'm doing. And then in addition to the gaming content that I publish, I'll also be adding gaming news and more video casts like this, and probably a talk show with special guests like I did a few times in the past, and even educational videos covering anything from science to music. And I'm also going to start experimenting with political commentaries too, which is very timely with this coming November election. And even though those will be the most controversial, well, I'm going to do them anyway. And most importantly, also related to gaming, I just launched a game development studio. Right now it's just me, and I haven't developed any games yet. So in order to start producing them, I have at least a dozen different skills to acquire. So I'm doing that as quickly as I can too. And these skills would include 3D modeling, creative writing, graphic art, C++ programming for the Windows games, Android SDK programming for the Android games, and some fundraising skills and even music composition. And as I acquire these skills, I'm going to produce a new video series that kind of chronicle how I'm acquiring my skills one by one and how I'm building these games one step at a time. And my first few games will be deemed throwaway games, which will be very small and obviously free for anyone to play, but still each of them will be unique in some way or another from all the other games that have ever been produced. And being able to produce a small game or two to begin with, that kind of proves and validates my game development process. And then I can begin a larger project and maybe even add some good talent to my one-person team. And to do all this, I have to be able to focus on work in my home office, which means that I won't have time for a full-time job or even a part-time office job. So to keep me alive and to be able to pay for rent and food, I'm launching a Patreon campaign in just about 1 week. The Patreon funds will keep my YouTube channel healthy and growing, but then they'll also help me to grow my game development studio too, eventually producing my first few games. So if you'd rather watch me be creative and grow my own brand and be an indie game developer instead of slaving away as an office drone, then watch for my Patreon campaign when I launch it next week and support me on it. And I do have a link already, and although it isn't finished yet, you can still take a look at it, maybe even join as a monthly contributor if you like. It's patreon.com/Culveyhouse. And one last note about the big game walkthroughs on my channel. So I've decided that my full walkthroughs, especially the Fallout 4 and the Skyrim walkthroughs, those are the last 2 big walkthroughs on my channel. I've had to abandon quite a few walkthroughs entirely in the past, including Watch Dogs and The Witcher 3, so there just isn't an audience anymore for these gigantic, sprawling 300 video walkthroughs of mine. But I'll keep up these 2 series, and I'll keep producing Skyrim and Fallout 4 videos as kind of a final tribute to the episodic format. And I may still do some smaller walkthroughs of small games, as long as the size is manageable. But like I mentioned earlier, I'll still produce lots of other gameplay content, but they'll be in the form of special videos, like one-off tips and tricks videos, and you'll still get to watch me play games on my live streams, of course. Well, that's about all for this random videocast. Stay tuned for lots of new and diverse content coming up on the Culveyhouse channel, including tonight, actually. I'll be streaming Fallout 4 for at least a few hours, starting at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Alright, thanks for supporting me, thanks for making my live streaming a big success, and I'll see you next time in whichever game world you call your home. Thanks for watching.